It's William West Hopper from WWH Communications, Queer for Travel Automotive Business Report, and you know us also from the Real DC Car Guy. And we're here with the 2021 Yukon Denali as we take a tour of Harford County, Maryland. Now, during the 2020 pandemic, many of us haven't been able to get out and hasn't been able to see anything. We took this opportunity with the new GMC Denali to go off and tour a place that's close to home. So many times we drive up and down I-95, that ribbon of highway between Philadelphia and Baltimore, and really we don't get a chance to see what's out there, which is Harford County, Maryland. It's a historic county just south of Susquehanna River, but north of White Marsh. It's an area that you may not know that you've actually been to when you stop at the Maryland House behind me and thinking of it as a rest area along I-95. Come join us as we tour Harford County, Maryland, where there is a lot of Maryland history in this 2021 GMC Yukon Denali. And we're looking forward to seeing things that are not highway related, that are not with busy roads. We're going to go on backcountry roads, and we're going to tour state parks, the Susquehanna River, a lot of outdoor areas, and a lot of historic spaces that will be interesting to see, especially since it's just a day away from a Washington, D.C. or Baltimore or Philadelphia. It's a quick drive for a day trip or for an overnight trip. This part of Maryland is very rural. There's a lot of wildlife. There's a lot of fishing and hunting out here. We're going to tour historic sites, including the Conowingo Dam, a historic hydroelectric dam that was completed in 1928 to provide electricity for the Philadelphia Electric Company. So this is part of the West Family Stories project that I've been working on, which is telling stories about my mother's family, the West family. And my mother was born in 1919 and lived in Baltimore, Maryland. Her father was an engineer for the city of Baltimore, and her uncle was editor of the Sun. In 1928, when the dam and hydroelectric power plant behind me was completed, she walked across it with her father, or her two uncles. She didn't know her father was her father at that point in time. As a child, I always heard the story about her walking across the Conowingo Dam as we drove down to Baltimore every couple of weeks to see her Uncle Chauncey. While the Conowingo Dam is a naturalist's paradise with a lot of fishing and hunting areas around it, and of course it creates a lot of electricity through a green power source, the Susquehanna River, through hydroelectric power. The Conowingo Dam also provides a river crossing across the Susquehanna River, and this is one of the free river crossings that you're going to find. While you may pay a toll on I-95 or across the bridge in Havre de Grace, there is no toll to cross the Conowingo Dam. And this is one of the historic roads in America, and it's not a wide highway that goes over the river. In 1928, you can imagine it was a modern highway. Today, we go across it toll-free crossings over the Susquehanna. If you're looking for an inexpensive place to travel across the Susquehanna River, the Route 1 Conowingo Dam Road is the way to go. Now, once you get across the Conowingo Dam, you're also going to find rural and natural. There's some historic mills, of course, along the Susquehanna River. Hydropower in the colonial days where they would have milled grains and other materials that they would have needed. So right on the south side of the Conowingo Dam is the Conowingo Pool. And there you will find a charge point electric vehicle charger, which makes a lot of sense considering that it's owned by Exelon, the electric company, free electric charging station. And it's not the only electric vehicle charging station in Harford County. there are plenty of others. So here we are outside of Ripken Stadium in Aberdeen, Maryland. And as you can see behind me, there are electric vehicle chargers here, and you're going to see more and more of those as the technology expands, as more and more electric vehicles are out on the road. But if you're coming up I-95 and you need an electric charger, here at Ripken Stadium in Aberdeen, Maryland is a whole host of them. There's about 9 of them here. There's CHAdeMO connector and CMS connector, and then the J1772 connectors, plenty of those. So if you're looking to charge your vehicles, up here in Aberdeen, Maryland, just off Route 22. What got me all charged up to visit Harford County, Maryland, was a recent episode on Maryland Public Television, PBS, about the Harford County Barn Quilt Trail. This is an app-based passport where you do selfies with the 22 quilt squares painted on barns that are located all around the county. The more you post and check in on the app, the more opportunity you have to win prizes. We only made it to one barn, and I know we will head back in the warmer weather and check out the others. This is just one of the many things to see and do around the county. We just blazed our own trail and saw rolling farmland, heavily wooded areas like Rocks State Park, historic places like the Carter Archer House, a surprise find along the Susquehanna River, providing a glimpse of what life was like in the days before cars and hydroelectric power plants, and nearby this hydro-powered early grist mill. Talk about what a getaway is supposed to be about. Exploring the country roads of Harford County and finding interesting places to visit, sights to see, and of course enjoying the views. Now don't think for a minute that we went hungry on our tour of Harford County. We found 2 delightful locally owned restaurants that we dined in. Yes, dined in. During these days of social distancing, both restaurants were well set up for that, blocking off tables. Our first was the Water Street Seafood in Haverty Grace, Maryland. That's Haverty, Havredegrace, a new seafood place on the waterfront. Sorry I enjoyed the fresh homemade crab cakes before I could photograph it. Also not pictured were the bacon-wrapped scallops, another home run that we devoured. On the second night, the delightful staff at the Fairfield Inn and Suites in Aberdeen recommended Mamie's Cafe with Love, a place we would never have found on our own, but was right around the corner in the Home Depot shopping center off of Route 22, decorated with classic Maryland kitsch. The food was good, proportions were enough to take home for yet another meal, and happy we chose this place for our last night of our visit, as we had great leftovers for when we returned home. Both places were reasonably priced for the high quality of food they serve. One of the things that people don't realize about the East Coast, back 100 years ago, that this area was pretty rural. There wasn't a whole lot. Aberdeen certainly is an old historic town, and really the only way to get around was by water, certainly the Chesapeake Bay, and by train. So here we are in Aberdeen at the historic train station. Aberdeen is also known for the proving grounds, for the military proving grounds. There is a train that comes through here. It's a MARC train, which is the Maryland commuter train, as well as an Amtrak Northeast Regional. But it's an interesting space to come and to check out and to see what's going on. And you can see a mural behind me representing the historical aspects of what train travel once was like. It's certainly not that way anymore. And in a few years, we're probably going to see high-speed rail coming through here in Aberdeen, and many ways to get up and down the East Coast. So here we are at the Aberdeen, Maryland train station. And about how many years ago did you work on the master plan for this?
5, 6, 7 years, something like that.
All right. And what were they going to do?
Well, basically, they were looking into the future and trying to put in a new station and a new connector between this side, which is the southbound trains, to the other side, which is the northbound trains. Right now, there's a low-grade tunnel And we looked at several alternatives. One is to build another replacement bridge for the one here that you can see here over the top. Another one was to build an underground, larger opening underground so that people could, instead of this being a narrow tunnel, it would be a bigger bridge. So that was kind of the main we were looking at. And also keeping in mind that the Amtrak is looking at some point in the future of putting high-speed rail in here. So that has some impacts on where the tracks went.
So when we look at the train right now, there's this little kind of 1960s, 1950s space across the way. And that is the way to get from one side to the other.
Right,
Now,
so that was kind of the main we were looking at.
And we're here at the Fairfield Inn and Suites in Aberdeen in historic Harford County, Maryland. The hotel opened just at the beginning of 2021, and it is classic Marriott property. It's new, it's clean, it's spacious, everything that you need, very well located to get to everything you might need, but it's also sort of peaceful and quiet since it's not in the middle of a hotel complex. It's probably one of the more upscale hotels that you're going to find up in this neck of the woods. There are plenty of low-priced hotels out there, but when you stay at a Fairfield Inn, at a Marriott property, you know you're going to get Marriott quality service and bedding and cleanliness and everything that Marriott stands for. So we've been very pleased with this hotel stay. We've been here for 2 nights. We were in an extended double suite on the 4th floor, which had 2 queen-size beds and a living room space with a nice desk. You're not finding desks in some of these newer hotels. This hotel has plenty of desk space, excellent bathroom with a nice shower, high-up shower head, plenty of hot water. So we were very pleased with that. Our sleep experience was good. And most importantly, we want to thank the hotel staff. They were all just great. Thank you, Fairfield Inn and Suites, Aberdeen, Maryland, for this opportunity to stay. If you're up in this neck of the woods, please think about staying here. And as we always say, always go through the hotel's booking site directly or call the hotel directly at their line. We're not a big fan of the expediter sites or the other sites that you get advertisements for. We like to book our stays through the hotel. We were hosted here, so thank you. Visit Harford County, Maryland, and they did cover our hotel stay, though we paid for our own incidentals. Thank you for joining us on our tour of Harford County, Maryland. When you're looking for a day trip or an overnight or 2-day getaway, give this area a try. There are plenty of things to do, plenty of places to eat, and a number of wonderful places to stay overnight. I want to thank the Harford County Convention and Visitors Bureau for hosting us at the brand new Fairfield Inn and Suites, and General Motors Corporation for providing us a brand new 2021 GMC Yukon Denali for this visit. We hope you will join us next time as we go out on yet another adventure. Until then, if you like this video, hit that like button, share our videos, and subscribe